Hi everyone! Do you remember what the needs of the plant are? Plants need light to make food. There's an enormous competition for all the leaves to get enough sunlight so that they're able to make food. But there is something else on the plant that helps these leaves absorb as much sunlight as they can. And today, that's what we're going to be talking about. So that part of the plant is called the stem. The stem helps the plant to grow upward and outward for all the leaves to absorb as much sunlight as possible. So it's like you see here. We're going to pretend that this is a plant and all of these are leaves. They are like temples to the sun. They worship the sun because they need that to make food. So the stem again helps the leaves to grow up and out so that they're able to absorb as much sunlight as possible. To quickly go over the parts of the leaf, I'm going to use my plants that I have here. So where the leaf is growing is called the node. So right here, so these leaves are already growing, but if it was just beginning, these parts right here would be called nodes. And in between each of the nodes, so this section right here on the stem, where there all are no nodes, is called the inner node, right there. And then on some plants, at the very tip of the stem, there is a terminal bud. And we got lucky with this plant because you can see it really well right here. That green part that my finger is touching, that is the terminal bud coming in. So another leaf growing at the very tip of the stem. And other buds, which I don't have any to show you on this plant, but if we had more buds that were coming in, those would be called lateral or axial buds. And then here on the stem, where there used to be leaves, but there are no longer, those are called leaf scars. So that is the parts of the stem. And I would like to show you one example of a stem. It's celery. How many of you have eaten celery before? Did you know that you're eating stems? Well, just like any other plant, celery also needs leaves to help them make food. And I want to go back to the root really quickly. Do you remember the job of the root? So the job of the root was to go underground and search along for water, and then once the roots find water, they would absorb that up into the roots. But I have a question. How does the water get from the roots to the leaf so that the leaves are able to make food? Well, that's another job of the stem. Not only does the stem help the plant to grow upward and outward for it to soak up the sun, but it also is transferring the water from the roots all the way back up to the leaves so that they're able to make food for the plant. So what I'd like to do today is show you a demonstration that you can do at home. What you need is celery with leaves on it, a glass of water. I have a beaker here that I'm going to use today, and some food coloring. I'm going to use red. So what you do first is you're going to put some food coloring into your glass. So I did 4 drops. And then you can take your celery and kind of stir in the food coloring. And you're just going to leave your celery in your glass for about a week. And then we'll check in to see what happens. So that's what your demonstration will look like. We'll continue with another lesson on the stem, but for follow-up, you can write what the stem does. It's 2 functions. You can do this demonstration at home. You can look around at the plants in your house or outside your house and see if the stems look any different from one another. You could also go around and search for that terminal bud to see which plants have it. Hope you enjoy. We'll see you soon. Bye.